Welcome to Game Changers with Molly Fletcher, where we take you behind the scenes with peak performers to learn what makes them tick and discover how you can apply their lessons to your life. I'm your host, Molly Fletcher. Today's guest, Natasha Graziano, went from homeless and broke to top mindset coach and motivational speaker. The creator of the Mbs Method, Natasha is passionate about helping people transform their lives through neuroscience and ancient wisdom. She's amassed more than 15 million followers on social media and has been featured in the New York Times, Vogue, Forbes, and USA Today. Natasha is the host of the popular Law of Attraction podcast, and her new book, Be It Until You Become It, is out August 2nd. In today's conversation, we talk about the law of attraction, creating a success mindset, and how to achieve your goals faster. Here we go. This is my conversation with Natasha Graziano. Natasha, what a treat. You know, I want to start here. You went from what was, and you talk about one of the lowest points in your life just a few years ago, to becoming a top motivational speaker and a successful entrepreneur. Tell me a little bit about some of the struggles that you went through to get where you are.
You know, going through pain and trauma was what has shaped me today. Going through that pain, going through the moments I call that make you. The breakdown that became my breakthrough. That is what has enabled me to grow and become who I am today. If it wasn't for the pain and the suffering, there's no way I would be who I am today, because I wouldn't have a story to share. I wouldn't have drive and motivation and momentum in the way that I do today. I had to go through struggles and pain in order to get to this other side so that I can share with the world how I healed, so that I can help someone else end suffering too.
How did you begin to make this transition? How did you go from this place of such despair to transforming your life?
So I think when I was at my lowest point is when I had my biggest breakthrough, my biggest moment of enlightenment. When I was hitting rock bottom time and time again, emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually. It was a way of the universe saying, honey, you're going in the wrong direction. You need to pause and reflect, and you need to do something a little different. And so I did. So I decided I have to grow and I have to evolve from this place. And I remember standing at this pinnacle moment, looking in a mirror. And I was very weak. I had an illness at the time. I was struggling with an overactive thyroid, hypothyroidism. And I remember standing there in the mirror, looking at myself, streaming down with tears right before I was about to be a bridesmaid for my mother at her wedding. And my tears were pouring down my face, ruining my makeup. The makeup artist had just done. And I remember standing there saying to myself, I've got to get down the aisle for her. You know, I could barely really walk. I was in such a bad way. I was completely energyless and my body was shutting down. And I remember looking at myself saying, this is not forever. And I put on a motivational track by Denzel Washington. And it was so powerful because as I listened to him, as I heard his words, they spoke to me, they spoke through me, and I lifted myself up. I felt I am going to be okay. I am going to be fine. I started preaching his words over myself, saying, this is only temporary. This is not your forever. Whatever it is that you're going through right now, this is not going to last forever. You can overcome this. And I just started believing it. And even though it may not have been true, I wasn't well, but I was saying you are well. I realized it's not about whether it's true or not. It's whether we believe it or not. And so you can take that in a negative way or a positive, right?
Absolutely. But you changed, what I'm hearing you say is you changed your story. You were telling yourself a story that wasn't serving you. And then you said, wait a minute, I got to shift this. And it sounds like that Denzel Washington content at some level helped shift you. Is that how you advise people who might be stuck, who are in a bad place, to infuse yourself with content that helps you grow, that helps you shift your story so that you can shift your behavior?
Absolutely. You see, Molly, it's about rewiring your thought process, because your thoughts become your feelings. Your feelings become your habits, and your habits are you. So if you are feeling negative all the time, if you are feeling and acting in a way that does not serve your purpose, it doesn't serve the person you want to be or the things you want to attract, then you're surely going to attract more of that stuff into your life, because I'll give you some neuroscience behind it. There's a part in our brain called the reticular activating system. It filters 2 million bits of data every second, colors and sounds and things that you see. And when you think about something over and over, and you feel like you're unworthy of love, or you feel like you're unworthy of success in your business, or you feel like you're not going to achieve greatness, what ends up happening is that you bring yourself down, because your reticular activating system says, hey, that's what you deem as important, because you focus your mind on it all the time. So I'm going to bring you people and places and things to show that your belief system is true. So if you shift that belief system to, I am worthy of success, I'm worthy of financial freedom, I'm financially abundant right now, again, even if it's not true, it's whether you believe it, then your reticular activating system in your brain will show you evidence around you to prove that your belief system is real in people, events, and places. And that's just as simple as how it works through neuroscience.
I love the way you broke that down. And you talk about the law of attraction a ton, and I love it. Tell me what it means to you. I mean, people can interpret that word in a lot of different ways, but I'm hearing you go broad and wide at some level with that word. Get me inside of it.
I love that. Law of attraction is happening whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you know it or not. The law of attraction is things that are attracting to you through your actions. It is things that are happening in your life because of your thoughts and your feelings. It's the things that are happening to you because of the way that you are putting things out into the world through your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, your habits, which is you. So I always ask somebody, who do you want to be? Like, if I could wave a magic wand, in 3 years, you could do this exercise right now if you're listening. You'll probably enjoy it. Who do you want to be in 3 years from now? Who do you see yourself as? Make your 5-year goal your 3-year goal. Make your 3-year goal your 1-year goal. Make your 1-year goal your today goal. And that's what I want you to write down. Who is that version of you? How much money have they got in the bank? Who have they got around them? Who are they socializing with? Who are they doing business with? What are they wearing? How do they smell? Every single detail. And use your 5 senses when you do this exercise and you write it down. Now, I would ask you at that point to then see who you are today. Now you can see there's a gap, right? Between you and the person you want to be. There's a big gap. So in order to become the version of you that you want to become wholeheartedly, you have to shift your behaviors to get to that place. You have to shift your belief system. You have to shift your actions and your behaviors, because your outer reality is a direct reflection of your inner self beliefs. So now let's look at your belief system. What do you need to do in your actions to become like that person? Because that person, that version of you thinks a bit different. They act a little different. They talk a little different. So you need to be that person today, which is literally be it until you become it. I don't like fake it till you make it. Be it until you become it. Be it until you become it is the way. Become the version of you want to become before you get there. And you will get there.
And that's your new book. It's coming out here in a hot minute, and it is going to be magical. I love it. There we got a little peek of it. So what's the big message in the book? You teased it out just a minute ago, but what's the big message? What's the big takeaway? Why do people take a couple hours and spend $20 to pick up this incredible book, Be It to Become It?
So the reason that you would read Be It Until You Become It is because you're somebody who actually is going to take action. You're somebody who wants to see a different reality in your life. You're somebody who wants to try something a little different to get a different result, who wants financial freedom, who wants time with their family, who wants more confidence, who wants more happiness in their life, who wants to feel fulfilled. You may have a lot of things right now listening in, but perhaps you don't have fulfillment and purpose. A lot of the A-listers and 9 and 10 figure entrepreneurs that I deal with struggle with that main thing. They don't feel fulfilled. They don't feel they have purpose, or they feel like they have purpose, but they just don't feel happy, and they have everything and they wonder why they're not happy. And that's because material doesn't make you happy. Happiness comes from within, not from without.
Hi there, it's Molly. I've got some exciting news to share. I'm thrilled to announce that I've launched my first ever on-demand course, Up Your Game. Unlock the drive to fuel next level success. Have the past few years left you burned out and stretched thin? Like, despite your success, you're capable of more. Maybe you've lost your purpose and that inner fire to pursue your dreams. If so, trust me, you are not alone. So many people have been there. As a sports agent for 15 years, representing and working with the best of the best, I've seen and helped countless people unlock their drive to accomplish great things and finally live out their dreams. That's why I've crafted a brand new on-demand course to help you unlock your potential to fuel next level success. In my course, Up Your Game, I share the critical 8 keys that you absolutely must use to get unstuck and finally realize your fullest potential. This course is not inspirational fluff. It gives you action guides so that you can apply it to your life and take action right now. So are you ready to up your game? Sign up for my new course today at mollyfletcher.com/course. That's mollyfletcher.com/course. I can't wait for this course to change your life in incredible ways. Check it out. Tell me your approach to goal setting. I love Natasha's 5 pillars. Can you break these down for folks? This is good stuff.
Absolutely. The 5 pillars to achieving your goal faster. Number 1, get clarity of your vision. So you want to understand exactly what it is you really desire, what you really want. If you do not have clarity on your vision, how else is the universe going to deliver it? If you're like, oh, maybe I'd like to be an author someday, and maybe I'd like to have some more children, and maybe I'd like some money in my bank account, and actually I'd like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. No, get super clear. I want to impact X amount of lives by what date? So you always set it in time and space. You know, this is going back donkey's years. You know, Napoleon Hill would preach this. Dale Carnegie would preach this. I mean, you want to go back as far as you can, and everyone's saying the same things. Set it in time and space. So that's a really big one. The next thing that you want to do is pillar 2, which is remove the limiting beliefs. Remove the blockages. Remove the things inside of you that are stopping you from achieving your goals. And you can do that through meditation. You can do that through my Mbs Method, meditational behavioral synchronicity, which you learn all about inside Be It Until You Become It, the book. You can do that. In fact, on my podcast, there's a free MBS session. You can do it. It's a deep guided meditation. But you want to do the removal of these limiting beliefs through whatever method works for you. And, you know, something that works fast. Number 3 is replace the old self-limiting belief with a new, positive, strong affirmation about yourself, a new belief system. Pillar number 4 is expand your vision. So expanding it through vision boards, people, places, things that you watch, podcasts that you listen to. Do you listen to amazing things every day? Do you listen to things that inspire you? You're rewiring your brain without even knowing. You're literally creating a new version of you. And that's how we become a new version of us, through what we ingest, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Okay, so then pillar 5 is take inspired action. I always say to people, the law of attraction is an action, but do not forget, with anything you want to achieve, it is not about literally thinking it and it appears. You must take action. And inspired action creates drive, momentum, and motivation. So take action today. Take action. 3 small goals a day. Write this down. Someone listening to, I don't know who this is for. Write this down. 3 small goals a day towards your main goal is 1,095 goals a year. if you can do 3 small goals a day towards your main goal, that is 1,095 goals a year. Honey, your side hustle is no longer your side hustle. It is your main hustle. You are somebody achieving greatness.
I love that. So 3 small goals every day is 1,095 goals that you're attacking annually. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yes, it is.
No days off either, right, Natasha? Every day, baby.
Every day.
Get better every day. I love it. I love it.
You got to commit.
That's right. That's right.
Choose every day to commit.
So what are some of the habits that you use, right? You talk about, and I want to dig into MBS in a second. You talk about these practices that strengthen your mindset, meditation. So if I'm somebody listening and I'm like, I'm not really sure what the things that are blocking me. I'm not really sure what the negative behaviors, beliefs, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, relationally, physically that are blocking me. How would somebody get clear on what those are and then get clear, obviously, through your pillars on the actions that they need to take? What do you do to sort of go, these are the things that are blocking me, and now this is what I'm going to go do about it?
I love that. And you know what? I even have days where I'm like, actually, what is blocking me? Why is this showing up right now? And it's either something really obvious in your life, like you're in a toxic relationship, you've got toxic friends around you. The universe is screaming at you through pain. It's screaming at you through scenarios you don't like. It's screaming at you through tests and things you're going through. But the way to find the limiting beliefs is really to meditate. Because when we pray, we speak to God. When we meditate, we listen. And when you listen, you learn. When you talk, you don't learn. So you want to get real clarity on this version of you and the limiting beliefs that are stopping you from being the new version of you or the version of you that you are now. Meditate and just ask yourself when you're in a deep, altered state of awareness, calmer, right? Not when you're super hyper or super up here. You want to be really calm and ask yourself, why is this showing up in my life? And perhaps the answer won't come immediately. In fact, a lot of the time, the answer doesn't reveal itself right there and then. It will show you itself through signs that you see later that day, the next day. It will reveal itself through numbers, or a text message will come in, or a stranger will say something to you. But another way is to really just listen to your body and ask yourself what's stored as a memory. And here's the key part. You're looking for something that happened to you, usually between the ages of 0 to 7. Something that happened. It could be absolutely tiny. Your teacher told you that you weren't as good as the girl next to you. Your teacher told you that you would never amount to anything. You got rejected by somebody in a friendship circle. Maybe you were abused. Maybe something, heavier. It doesn't matter how small or how large. Something happened usually between the ages of 0 to 7 that was imprinted into your subconscious mind. And that is what is playing out now in your human behaviors, your physical behaviors now at this stage in your life. So you wonder why you can't commit in a relationship. You wonder why you feel inclined to cheat. You wonder why you can't make money. You wonder why you just can't get past that hurdle of like 10K or 20K a month. You just can't get over it. You can't seem to save. This is all from a limiting belief that has been stored within you from such a young age. And you just need to find out what that very small or very large memory is, or trauma, and remove it and just let go of it. And the quickest way to let go of something is forgiveness, is to say to yourself, I forgive myself. Today, I forgive myself for. And that's it. And you just say, I forgive myself for that moment that I said something nasty to that friend at school when I was 6 years old. I forgive myself for holding on to this pain. And then you can go one step further. I forgive the person who did that to me. Doesn't mean you have to see them. It doesn't mean you have to call them and let them know that they're forgiven. But when you forgive somebody, when you literally forgive, you are giving yourself something, because you are giving yourself freedom. You're no longer holding on to a burden that was hurting you until now. You're releasing the pain that you were holding on to because of something someone else or an event that happened to you happened. And yes, it happened. And we cannot erase history, but we can remove the reaction we hold inside ourselves to that event. So forgive today. Just choose today to forgive someone or the event that happened to you. And you will set yourself free. And from that place is where you will start to manifest the life of your dreams.
I love it. And you know, you use the MBS method inside of your own daily life consistently, and you teach it, and you teach it in the book. How can people apply that to their own life, right? What is that process? How do you teach that, Natasha?
So the MBS method I found when I was in my weakest time. I found my MBS method, which is meditational behavioral synchronicity. I found it when I was struggling to heal. I had my illness at the time. Well, I would take out my illness, the illness. I don't like to associate myself with such things that were hurting. Nobody should want to say my anymore. Say the.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, pronouns are important
Mindset
here.
shift, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see, I'm human. I'm still going through it. I will still have to correct myself. But here's the thing. I was finding it hard to meditate. And then I realized I could incorporate breathing with meditation. 10 years previous to my illness, at 18, I was sent away to like a monastery, a Greek monastery in the mountains in Cyprus. My parents thought she's so rebellious, she's not going to university. You know, I was into drinking at school and all this crazy stuff for a stint of time, and it wasn't serving me. And my parents sent me away to this monastery. And they said, you're going to stay there for a month and you're going to heal and you're going to find sanity and just be humble. You're way too privileged and you need to learn humility. So off I went, and every day I hated it. We had to clean bathrooms, and we had to, I mean, it's hilarious because all the things now that I would love to do, like pray most of the day and do things which were completely far-fetched at 18. At 18, in the world I lived in, that was definitely not something I wanted to do. Whereas now I'd optionally go on a retreat, a camp or something that would shift my being and help me become more enlightened. But anyway, off I went, and I really struggled to do a lot of the tasks every day. So I tried to escape. And the first day I tried to escape, I took my stuff and I walked off into the mountains. And I just thought, I'm going to find a bus stop or something. I'm going to keep walking and there must be a road. I'm going to find a normal road with a bus stop. And I looked across to another sort of hill mountain nearby. And there was this guy sitting on one of these small mountains, and he was meditating. He was very, very old, very tanned, leathery skin. And he was meditating. He was doing this interesting thing with his chest. Like his chest was elevating and then compressing like this, breathing exercises. And I was very intrigued by what was going on. Anyway, I went back realizing there was no bus stop. Didn't think much of it. Was more intrigued by this guy that I'd seen across the other mountain and where he'd come from. It almost reminded me of the Jungle Book. And I went back, and then the next day I tried to escape again, and I went down another route, and I found myself again coming across him, and I was nearer to him this time. Anyway, a few days later, I did the same every single day, and I realized I'm not getting out of this camp, and this is ridiculous. I have to stay. I get it. Like I don't know where the nearest bus stop is, and I don't know how to get, at the time, taxis. Forget it. I don't even understand any of it. I still don't understand how to get a taxi apart from Uber. So I end up going to see this guy, and this guy says to me, please sit with me. I've watched you for days too. I've seen you, and come and, you're obviously interested, come and learn. So this Greek yogi starts showing me this breath work that he's doing, and he teaches me how to breathe, and he teaches me pranayama, ancient breathing techniques. It was the most wonderful experience, and that's why I went there. I came home, didn't think about it for literally 10 years. When I had the illness, I started practicing meditation, but I was struggling because my mind was racing a lot with thoughts, with what I was dealing with mentally, physically with the illness. And so I decided that I would get in touch with this yogi who, by the way, I thought was 86. He was 104 years old.
Oh my gosh.
He was 104 and didn't look a day past 80. He was so healthy. And you told me he lived on breath and light. And it was phenomenal. This is true. There are breatharians and all kinds of interesting things. Anyway, I managed to get in touch with him. I wrote him a letter, and he got in touch with me, and it was wonderful. We managed to have a video call. So we had this video call. And when we were in this video call, he showed me the breathing. And instead of shutting the laptop when I spoke, or phone, whatever I was on at the time, instead of closing it, putting it to bed, and just leaving that as my one exercise for the day, because I remember he told me the breath can either kill you or it can heal you. And that's true, because it's the first thing we receive when we come into this life, and it's the last thing we exhale as we leave. And so I would meditate after the session. I'd shut the laptop and I'd meditate. And because I was already in an altered state of awareness, a calmer, deeper state, I was able to meditate because I was so much calmer than I'd ever been, because I'd relaxed my mind and my thoughts racing through my mind and my body, and that my body had gone into the sympathetic nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system. And so there and behold was born my MBS method, which incorporates ancient breathing techniques to begin. It's modern day neuroscience all in one deep guided meditation. You go into the altered state of awareness, into the alpha and the theta state. Right now we're in beta, we're talking, there are different brainwave levels. And as they slow down, you go into the alpha state and then through to theta. That is where your mind is most impressionable. That's where you can rewire your brain. And that is what we use the MBS for, to meditate, to fall asleep, to heal, we use it for so many wonderful things. We've seen the most remarkable breakthroughs from the MBS method. People have come out of debt, hundreds of thousands. People have dropped weight when they've never been able to lose the weight.
Wow.
They call it 3 years of therapy in 15 minutes. So sorry for the long-winded version, but that's the scientific version of it. Yeah.
And so do you consistently get to a theta state? That's very hard to do.
No, not always. I definitely go to alpha, and I think most people can easily go to alpha. And I love that you know about this, because it's a good question to ask. I often go to theta because I'm almost asleep. So you can hold something in your hand if you're laying down, and if it starts to fall out of your hand, but that's when you're going into delta, falling asleep potentially, or when you're going into theta. So then you'll want to grab it and wake back up. So you want to be deep enough. And it's almost, when you're that deep, you could be there for 45 minutes on sort of two thoughts. You could be visualizing this goal that you want to achieve, impressing it into your mind. And it's taken you 45 minutes to have that one thought, because your brainwaves are so much slower in this place. And so that's beautiful. I'll often go into that state, but it's all about breathing, because there are breathing exercises that coordinate with the manifestation that you want. There are breathing exercises that take you deeper to get to where you want to be. If you don't do the breathing exercises first into it, then you're not going to allow yourself to go as quickly into that altered state of awareness unless you're an expert at this. The breathing exercises just work for people who, like me, I had ADHD and I was super fast paced, and I am super fast paced. So I need something that instantly breaks that up and says, okay, you can breathe and now you can meditate.
And so the MBS method teaches a breathing process and a meditation process that helps you takes you in a perfect world to that theta state.
Absolutely. So it's the way of going deeper. It's the way of getting to that deeper space and having a long-lasting, more impressionable, positive result than most things. I always say, try it out and give it a go. It's so wonderful. It may be that this is the thing that works for you, but find the thing that works for you.
Yeah. Everybody's different, but I'm with you. It's try it, right? What is something you wish you knew earlier in your life?
Something that I wish I knew. I wish I knew about the law of attraction. I wish I knew about how to change my life through metaphysical, external methods that you don't see. I wish I knew how to become a version of me that I wanted to without the normal ways that we think you have to do it. We think that we're not taught in school these extra metaphysical ways. We're not taught quantum physics as such. This is what is so powerful for our being, and it's what we read about, what we learn. And I wish that I did pick up the book of The Secret when I was 15. And it's ironic because these guys were my mentors, and now I'm friends with so many of the authors, and they've actually written testimonials for my book, some of the authors from The Secret. So, it's really incredible it's full circle, really, But I wish I'd had somebody giving me that knowledge, being like, here, listen to this podcast with Molly Fletcher, Game Changers. It's so exciting. You know, she'll show you with her guests how to transform it. Imagine if I'd had that then, or I'd had my books, you know?
Hi again, it's Molly. I hope you're enjoying the show. If you're a go-getter who wants to conquer overwhelm and sharpen your focus, I want to let you know about my new free webinar training, Purposeful Productivity. This free webinar gives you a framework to unlock more energy for what matters most and to finally beat burnout. Head over to mollyfletcher.com/webinar to access this free training and my new life-changing energy management framework. That's mollyfletcher.com/webinar. So I got to go here, right? Like, you have an incredibly unique love story of your own that I really want you to share. Was that part of your manifestation, if you will?
Oh, absolutely. When I manifested my husband, I did it in 3 weeks. I use my own methods in my own life. It's not a fluke that I live in my dream homes around the world. It's not a fluke that I am able to reach millions of people and it's exponentially increasing all the time because I've connected my purpose to what I do. And I believe in what I do wholeheartedly. I wake up every day wanting to help one person. And when I met my husband, I knew I want to manifest my husband, not just for myself. I want to manifest my husband to inspire millions of people to be able to manifest their dream partners and show them how. And I want to change the world with my husband. I want to move the needle forwards for humanity with whoever this man is who comes into my life. And when you want something truly, wholeheartedly, for the greater good of humanity, for more than just yourself, and if it benefits more than 2 people, the higher intelligence will bring that into existence for you because you're doing something greater. You want something that serves others.
What is your purpose, Natasha?
My purpose is to help end suffering, to help every human that I reach to live a healthier and happier life, to realize their full potential and activate it.
I mean, Natasha, it's pretty incredible. I mean, you've built a social media audience of more than 15 million, right? How did you build your personal brand and your audience? You know, you think about, like you said, this full circle that you've gone on over the last several years, really, from this place of just despair to now this place where people are listening to you. They're following you. You're leading them.
I love social media because it's a place that we are able to learn about things that are happening in the world, things that are coming up, things that can benefit us. So I see it in a positive way and I just promote positivity on there. I share my vulnerable stories sometimes, but I really connect with my audience. The trick for growing a social media following is understanding that it is a 2-way dialogue versus a 1-way dialogue. Understanding that it's not just you saying, hey, this is how great I look today. Hey, look at my life. It's more than that. This is who I am and this is the value that I can give to you. So every time I put up a post and every time I tell my clients, I teach my clients this exact method I'm about to share. What value are you offering the world? What value are you offering when you put up this post? Are you benefiting somebody's health? Are you benefiting somebody's life? Are you helping somebody to be a little bit more like you? Are you helping somebody to feel better in themselves? If you are helping somebody solve a problem or benefit their life in some way, that post should be up and it should go viral. And we hope it will go viral because you're actually doing something great and helping others. So when you stop making it about you and you make it about the audience, and we write lists and lists and lists, streams of filming content that we're going to put up that month relevant to what's going on in the world, who we'd like to bring on my podcast, anything that we can benefit the world in. We think what would help someone today? All I wake up and think is, how can I help someone today? How can I benefit someone's life? Just one person. And I reach a lot of people, and I'm blessed for that, but I use it in the right way, I believe.
Absolutely. Well, it's not about you, it's about them. And when we make the work we do about others, sky's the limit. Natasha, what is next for you? What are you working on?
I love it. So exciting. Well, the book is out August 2nd. And I am just so excited because this book is my gift to the world. This book is the law of attraction, and it is explained through neuroscience and ancient wisdom. So for anybody that's like on the more scientific end or skeptical side, this is for you, because it's going to show you all the science behind everything and how your brain connects. And there's so many research and studies in here that you'll love, and ancient philosophers and wisdom brought to you all in one place. So my book is really what I'm focusing on. We have a book signing in LA at Barnes & Noble at the Grove on the 2nd of August, the day the book's out. So if anyone's listening in LA and they want to come, make sure you just come along and join.
So, all right, we end with rapid fire. I'm going to hit you with some quick ones, okay? And you tell me what comes up. You ready?
I'm so ready.
All right, buckle up, girls. So the best advice that you've ever received, and who was it from?
My father, and to be calmer, to practice mindful exercises every day, to be really at one with my soul.
I love it. What's your biggest fear?
Not reaching enough people.
What's one thing on your bucket list?
Oh, to go to Tibet and spend some time with the monks.
Nice. Are you manifesting that now?
I am going to manifest that for 2023. Yeah, I haven't thought about it to do it at this year, but I'd like to do it next year. Mm-hmm.
I love it. What's your superpower?
Every time I get asked this by various different top podcast hosts like you, and that's because it's honestly one of the best questions ever. And my superpower is the ability to be able to inspire people.
I have to agree with that.
That's it. I inspire people to be able to go and then inspire others.
Yep.
I ignite that flame for them. I help them to be inspired.
I would have to agree that's your superpower, Natasha. I love it. What's one of the most worthwhile investments or purchases, something that you've bought recently that you've made recently that's really been an impact on your life?
Something that I bought recently would be 5 Languages of Love. I read it years ago and then I lost the copy. So I went and rebought it, and I found that my love language has dramatically changed. It's now acts of service. When people do things for me, like they buy the book, and even though they're a friend and I probably would have given that person a special copy, they buy it because they want to. Like, phenomenal people who do that. I was messaging Steve Aoki the other day, a friend of mine, and I said, hey, I want to send you my special VIP copy of the book. I've only got 50, but they're coming in these like special boxes with videos on, right? And he said, I'll buy it for you. I want to support you. And I was like, no, you're so sweet. That really is special to me. Those sorts of things.
What's the book you recommend most often?
My book, Be It Until You Become It. Absolutely, because it's the modern day version. However, if there's another one that's not mine, just to not be cheesy, I would say Dale Carnegie, How to Worry Less and Live More. That was transformative for my life.
Okay, last question. Who or what is a game changer in your life? Who inspires you and why?
Denzel Washington inspires me the most because he's such a phenomenal being, and he uses his platform to help so many people. His speeches are just life-changing. And if I could give the gift of anything today, even if you don't get yourself a copy of the book today, get it for somebody else and download for free Denzel Washington just on YouTube. Just listen to his, I think it's the inauguration speech. Not inauguration, sorry, the graduation speech.
And that's full circle for us, because that's where you began when you listened to his voice. That's when you transformed. And I mean, your story, Natasha, and your transformation is profound. And now you're using all of, as you said, your pain and your challenges to make the world a better place and inspire and connect with others. So thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you so much for having me. I love your show, and I'm so excited to connect more with anyone who's listened today. And I hope you enjoy the book. Thank you.
Here are a few of my favorite takeaways from my conversation with Natasha. Number 1, your breakdown is your breakthrough. Can you find purpose through your struggles and pain? Yes. You can't grow without discomfort and pushing through adversity. These are the moments that make you, Natasha said. I love it. Number 2, be it until you become it. It's not just the name of Natasha's new book, it's her life mantra. As she described it, your thoughts become your feelings become your habits, and your habits become who you are. Number 3, take inspired action. Inspired action is what creates drive, momentum, and motivation in our lives. I love how Natasha talked about taking 3 small goals every day towards your big goal. Trust me, that adds up a ton over time. Thanks, as always, for listening to Game Changers with Molly Fletcher. If you like the show, be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts. There you can listen to previous episodes and leave us a review, which helps other people find out about the show. This episode was edited and sound designed by the team at Sound On Studios. You can find out more about their work at soundonsoundoff.com. Check it out. For more about me, visit mollyfletcher.com. Until next time, stay curious and be bold.